It has been nearly 2 weeks since Election Day, and in the state of California and its remaining House races, we do have some very important information to let you know of right now what's happened in the last few days. So, if you're familiar with the video a few days ago, I did a look at some key House races that were still going on in the state of California. So, California at the time had about 4 House races that had not yet been called. And right now, the national race for the House, Republicans won with 218, Democrats had 212. The first seat that I went over was the California 9th District. And in the time since I've gone over this district, the Democratic incumbent, Josh Harder, has gone on to win this seat over Republican challenger Kevin Lincoln. So this was one race that was undecided. This one has now been called. The next district I looked at was California District 13, which I'm trying to find 13. Here it is, right here. Last time this race was too close to call. This race right now, again, is also too close to call, where the Republican incumbent is leading 50.6. The Democratic candidate is trailing at 49.4. I am going to come back to this district as well and look at the votes in this district, but for now, I just want to do a really quick look at the votes that are coming in the other districts as well. So California 13 is still too close. The next district I looked at was California 21. In California 21 right now, I'm trying to find it, here it is, the Democratic incumbent Jim Costa was able to hold on and defeat Republican Michael Mayer. So far, all the races that I've gone over have gone exactly as they were looking like they were going to in that video. Now we get to a very interesting one, California 45, where right now the Republican, the last time I did this video, was leading very, very narrowly, only by about 800 votes or so. The Democratic challenger is now leading the Republican incumbent by, get this, 36 votes. 36 votes, the Democratic challenger is leading the Republican incumbent. Absolutely ridiculous how close this race is. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to give you some updated numbers in these two districts and where the vote is left out, as well as a news article on Fox News about this, or not Fox News, ABC, excuse me, about this. So in California District 45, Derek Tran, the Democratic candidate, is overtaken Republican incumbent Michelle Steele in the 45th congressional district race. And this comes as, at one point, the Republican Michelle Steele on Sunday was trailing, or the Democrat was trailing the Republican by 11,363 votes at one point. The consumer rights attorney and co-owner of a pharmacy with his wife Michelle is 36 votes now ahead of the two-term incumbent, 152,981 to 152,945, according to the Secretary of State's office. Both candidates are currently below 50%. Tran, the Democratic candidate, currently trails in the Orange County portion of the district, 138,320 to 134,168, approximately 50.8% to 49.2% advantage for the Republican. But the Democrat leads in the Los Angeles County portion, Artesia, Cerritos, and Hawaiian Gardens, and portion of Lakewood, 18,813 to 14,625, percentage-wise, about 56.3 to 43.7. But again, it does need to be noted that there is more people living in this Orange County portion of the district, but the margins are so incredibly tight that difference in the LA area is actually doing enough to give the Democrat a very narrow lead due to the fact that it is so incredibly close in Orange County. Only previously unprocessed ballots in Orange County were counted on Saturday. No counting is scheduled in Orange County or Los Angeles on Sunday. It is set to resume today on Monday. Tran trailed by 58 votes entering Saturday's resumption of counting. He trailed by 11,363 votes on November 6th, 7,590 on November 8th, 6,900 on November 9th, and 6,100 last Sunday, when only ballots from Los Angeles County portion of the district were counted. And so forth and so forth. It continued to shrink down until here we are today. It is not known how many ballots currently remain to be counted in this race. So this is a incredibly close race happening right now in California 45, which is going to be right down here. When you look at the map, it's going to be right here. Now I'm going to take a closer look at this district for you and show you where these results are coming from. So this is where the area is right now, where Derek Tran, the Democrat, is leading 50.01 to Michelle Steele's 49.99, according to the New York Times map. So a little bit different than the article, but nonetheless, about 0.2% difference. According to the New York Times, there's 94% of the vote in, and there's approximately 6% of the vote left outstanding. And let's just say we don't, as the article mentioned, we don't know exactly how much vote is left out there. But to get a rough estimation, we're going to take the total number of votes counted so far, which is 305,926, and we're going to times that times 0.06, which would be approximately 6%. Which, again, if that's true, it could be more, it could be less. This is just to give you a rough estimate of how many votes are left out there. That would be approximately 18,355 votes remaining to count in this district, if the math is correct in that situation. 6% of what this number would be. It's possible there are more votes, it's possible there's less votes. We're obviously not going to know until all the votes come in, but let's just go off the assumption there's roughly 18,355 votes remaining. Is that enough votes for either candidate, the Republican or the Democrat, to win right now? Yes, it is. And it's only a margin of about 36 votes right now. The question is, where are those votes coming from? Well, right now, there is 95% of the vote in the Los Angeles County District part of the district. 93% of the vote is in the Orange County District 45 area. So what that tells me is, at a bare minimum, there's about 2% of the vote remaining out of the Orange County District 45 more than the Los Angeles area. And it is also worth noting, the Orange County area has a lot more people in it than the Los Angeles County area. So just given that alone, you would think, okay, well, that would be good news for the Republican candidate, because if there was more vote left out of the Los Angeles area, well, that would certainly be more Democratic. The only problem is, yes, Orange County, the Republican is leading 50.8 to 49.2, but as more votes have come in, it has gotten a lot closer and closer. So for the Republican to win here, then she needs to have votes come out of Orange County that are either keeping pace at worst or getting more Republican for at best, because she is now trailed in this race by 36 votes. And again, 36 votes, it's more than capable for the Republican to make up that margin, especially considering, again, we're estimating about 18,300 votes or so remaining to be counted in this district. And we can say right now that there's about 272,488 votes in for Orange County, and that's about 93%. So now let's do the same exercise that I just did before that. We'll take 272,488, and again, it's estimated that 93% is in, so we'll times it times 0.7. If that is true, well then for that district, that would estimate that there's about 19,000 votes or so, give or take a few thousand, remaining in that district. Again, the math is not going to be exactly correct because we really don't know at the end of the day how many votes are remaining to count. And it's not going to be a perfect science trying to predict how many votes are left, but we can assume 19,000 votes. I would set a range of plus or minus like 3,000 to 5,000 votes, either more or less of the vote to go. More on the less side, I think, but we can assume there's going to be somewhere between probably 15,000 votes and 25,000 votes left to count in this district. Is that enough, obviously, for either candidate to win? Yes, it is. There's only a difference of 36%. Or 36 votes. This is a super, super close race. The reality is we're not going to know until all the votes come in out of this district, but this is a fascinating one where it is getting super, super close. So that is California District 45. That's where things stand right now. A 36 vote lead for the Democratic challenger. Super, super close. Now I'm going to take a look back at the other California district that is currently too close to call right now. So in California's 13th district, this is a situation where only 86% of the vote is in, and the Republican has a lead of 50.6 to 49.4. And this is a very, very fascinating one because right now it does give you results by county a little bit more than the other one did, where right now there's 83% in Merced County, there's 81% in Stanislaus County, 94% in Madera County, 92% in Fresno County, and 93% in San Joaquin County. So this one actually has a little bit more of an even distribution of votes across the counties than the other district does. The only thing that's worth mentioning right now, the highest county in terms of percentage is 94% in out of Madera County, which right now is the strongest county for the Republican. So in terms of most vote in, the highest county is a Republican county. In terms of the lowest population of votes, San Joaquin is the lowest population of votes in so far, and it's also the Democrat is leading there by +7. Fresno is the second smallest part at 18,000 or so, and that has 92% of the Republican. So there'll be a few more votes to get out of these areas, around 94, 92, 93%. But a lot of the important vote to watch for is going to be coming out of Merced County and Stanislaus County. And this is where the trouble for the Republican is beginning to potentially set in. 19% of the vote to go in Stanislaus County. Again, I'm not claiming this to be a perfect science because we're just estimating off the vote that is already in the numbers. So this very well could end up being wildly inaccurate once all the votes are coming in. But we don't really have much more to go off of than to just use the current votes and try and guess what it is. Taking about 19%, which is 81%, then the remaining vote, of 47,000 of the votes so far, would be about 89, almost 9,000 votes left out there for Stanislaus County. This is an area where the Democrat is leading percentage-wise by 6%. So if the Democrat had a margin of victory of the 6% of the remaining 9,000 votes in this area, would that be enough to give the Democrat a lead over the Republican? Yes, it would, just in Stanislaus County alone. Also very important to mention in Merced County. Right here, the Democrat is currently leading the Republican incumbent by just under 1% of the vote. This is 83% in, but this is the largest area in terms of population of all these areas. This has about 67,040 votes in this area with an estimated 17% to go. So again, doing the same math exercise, that would be about 11,400 votes or so remaining in this area. And again, I'm estimating the vote based on the vote that's come in right now. It's not going to be 100% correct once all the votes come in, but we can estimate that there's probably about 11,000 or so votes remaining to come out of this area alone. And this is where the race is either going to be won or lost, I think, because this is the largest county remaining. It's the second lowest percentage of votes in, and this is incredibly, incredibly close. If the Republican is going to hold on, he likely needs to improve these numbers in Merced County, because Stanislaus County will give a few hundreds to thousands of vote net gain for the Democratic candidate. And right now, it's a lead of about 2,000 votes of the Republican over the Democrat. Stanislaus County alone, once all those votes come in, might take that lead away. So then it comes down to Merced County, and what do those margins end up being in this very close county, where it's only a 1-point lead for the Democrat right now. I expect Stanislaus, when it comes in, will take away the margin of lead the Republican has. The question is, will Merced County be like the closing, finishing act that seals the victory for the Democrat, or will Merced County come in more Republican and be enough to give the Republican incumbent a very narrow victory? So this is a very, very fascinating one, and one I'm watching for very, very closely as the votes continue to come in. So those are the two key counties I'm watching right now in California that are still out there, that are still too close to call. And right now we're going to look at the national map. Some other races I went over in that video outside of California that have been called. Right now, Maine's 2nd District, the Democratic incumbent, after the ranked choice voting situation. I don't know why it says 50.8 to 50.1. I'm not sure if that's a math error or not, but I do know the Associated Press has called the race for the Democratic incumbent after the ranked choice voting. The Democrat did get above 50% of the vote. It is under 1% of the vote, so I'm not sure if there will be a recount or not, if the margins are close enough, but I do know the Democratic incumbent has been the projected winner there, so I felt that was worth letting you all know in this video. So that's all I really have for you in this video today, just giving you a quick update on California, and we may be getting some more votes today, if not going into tomorrow into Tuesday, so make sure to keep an eye out for those. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a like, make sure you click subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you get notified when I post a new video. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you in a future video. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day, so I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.